How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Cursed Goblet here. So, it's been a little bit since I've last done any form of, commentary video, and I ended up coming across a video that is pretty interesting. It's definitely part of a long line of videos that I already have, planned and whatnot to respond to, and the main primary theme of all of them is Ultrakill, a game that, well, if you've paid attention to the channel in any way, is quite possibly one of my personal favorite games that currently exist. And the thing is that, when it comes to really any game, okay, if you're going to do a review or you have a criticism of it, at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, anyone that's even, a really big fan of the game will be perfectly fine with it, and people won't, act like complete fucking idiots, okay? Obviously, there's going to be fanboys of literally anything, okay? There's going to be fanboys of anything, and that's just, unfortunately, a fact of life at this point that we just kind of have to accept. But here's the thing, you'd be an idiot if you just decided to label an entire fan base just based off of the insane fanboys that don't know how criticism actually works. But this video is going over not just one, but actually 2 videos. Mainly because these videos are relatively short in terms of their duration, and they both revolve around kind of the same thing. Apparently this individual that goes by the name of Beansprout apparently thinks that Ultrakill has a massive problem when it comes to its pistols. And, well, the problem that apparently this guy has is not what you would think.
Hello everyone, my name is Beansprout, and today we're going to be talking about Ultrakill once again. And today's video might be a bit controversial, as an element of Under the Mayo's argument about Ultrakill is going to be present in this video.
You already know that the critique is going to be absolutely amazing when someone brings up fucking Under the Mayo as apparently a credible source when it actually comes to anything revolving around criticism of Ultrakill. Listen, okay, I've watched all of Under the Mayo's videos that revolve around Ultrakill, at least the ones that primarily revolve around it, and I've watched some of the segments where he touches on Ultrakill, and every single take that he could possibly have on Ultrakill that is apparently a negative literally can just be boiled down to the developer's vision is wrong and I don't like it, therefore the game is bad. And that is quite literally the entire criticism. And yes, I do in fact plan on looking at some of these videos at some point in the future, especially the one that is, well, brought up here within this video, the "Yeah, I want to change Ultrakill," because in that video not only does he double down on all of his shitty takes, but he also manages to come up with takes that are even fucking worse. And, I mean, I'll bring those up when, the time comes, but, it'll mainly just be lightly touching on them, because, well, I want to wait until I actually, create a video revolving around those videos. But let's just keep going.
And I mean, Mayo got ratioed nearly as much as I did on my Brutal Tomb videos. So this should be a fun topic to cover. So, when I made my original Ultrakill videos, I got quite a lot of comments saying, "Why are you using the charged pistol? You should use the coin shot." And then that kinda left my mind for a bit.
Hang on, let me actually fact check this, because, well, obviously, if we're going to be taking a look at someone that's going to be bringing up something like this, well, it's probably best that we at least try to check it and make sure that whatever in the fuck that you're talking about is actually true. Alright, so one of the shorts that is brought up, let's see here. Literally none of these comments are in any way mentioning his usage of the charged pistol, at all. None of these are. What about his other video? Let's see here. What about his longer video that seems to be a review? Let's see here. I managed to find only one comment that actually mentions apparently using just the regular piercer revolver. It's not at all talking about, apparently supposed overuse of the regular piercer. It just kind of seems to be just the guy pointing out that you either don't have or don't use the slab piercer. But that seems to be the only comment that in any way mentions the, anything revolving around the piercer. And it's not even talking about your supposed overuse of the piercer. So either A, you're just straight up lying or boiling down a lot of, actual criticisms to just a straw man, or B, you've filtered or removed those comments so that way no one could actually find them. And you would think that if you're going to use this as an actual point within your video, you would actually want to keep the evidence around so that way if people are going to fact check you on it, then it would at least be shown to back it up. But I couldn't seem to find it anywhere, oddly enough.
But when I watched Under the Mayo's videos on Ultrakill, it kinda came back into my mind and it reminded me of the reason why I didn't use the coin shot. And I'll tell you why. I play games like this very casually. Contrary to me being a YouTuber, I'm not really a hardcore gamer like a lot of people think YouTubers are.
Okay, I don't exactly understand the point of bringing this up. Like, here's the thing, I also play games relatively casually. Hell, even Ultrakill, I play as casually as you can possibly even play Ultrakill. I mean, that game is extremely fast-paced, okay? Like, a lot of the main criticisms that I see, like some people that, talk about why they don't really play Ultrakill is because it seems a little bit too fast-paced for them, and that's the thing, okay? That's fine, okay? That's a perfectly valid criticism to have, okay? Not every game is going to be made for everyone. If a game is, at a pace that you personally don't see yourself, able to keep up with, that's perfectly fine. Everyone's made differently. But this is just, it's already starting to go in the direction of the developer's vision is wrong. I'm going to try to poorly prove that the developer's vision of how the game should function is inherently wrong and why it should be a problem.
And the reason why this is relevant is because when I first played Ultrakill, I tried the coin shot because I saw it in videos and I thought it looked cool. But then I struggled to hit anything with it, and whenever I would hit it, I'd end up dying anyway because I had to stand still to hit it.
Congratulations, you're basically describing the same exact arc that I guarantee literally anyone that has fucking played Ultrakill has literally gone through when it comes to the Marksman. Do you really think that I started off as a fucking god when it comes to using the goddamn coins? Hell no! Literally, you can watch my Minos Prime video and you can see that I literally had to go through fucking intense training halfway through that video just so that way I could, learn how coins function and actually do split shots to deal with the fucking minions on Flesh Prison, okay? I was not a god of using these fucking coins, and I don't really consider myself as a god of using them even now. I'm definitely a lot better than I was before, but I'm in no way the best. And the thing is, well, just like how you're describing here, well, I mean, the only difference is that I actually didn't even know anything about Ultrakill. Like, someone just gifted it to me, I decided to play it, and I came across the fucking Marksman, and I was like, oh, this looks like a cool weapon, and I missed most of my fucking shots on the coins. But I didn't just, give up. I literally just, saw that as, a sign of, I'm going to try to learn how to use this thing, so that way I can maybe use it in just, my normal way of playing. I mean, hell, if you look back and you look at, the first video where I use Ultrakill gameplay in the background, I mean, just look at this shit, okay? I fucking suck at literally hitting anything. Look at... yeah, this is quite literally me trying to figure out how in the fuck the goddamn Marksman works. Yeah. Congratulations, you're describing the arc of literally every Ultrakill player. Congratulations. Do you want a medal?
Which naturally led me into using the charged pistol instead. And now some people may say, well, it's your fault for not aiming properly, but you have to think about the average player's experience, which is kind of what Mayo was talking about. Not everyone who plays Ultrakill is going to immediately become a god at the game and start doing really cool tricks like firing a rocket at the coin or something like that.
Exactly, that's not, the problem that people have with that criticism. The thing is, okay, again, everyone literally starts somewhere, and I'll just be completely fucking honest. Like I said, when I was fumbling around with the Marksman, I didn't, just give up and just default to only using the Piercer just because I couldn't figure out how the Marksman functioned. I literally, again, you could just look at this gameplay. It's me primarily just using the Marksman because I want to try to figure out how in the hell I'm supposed to hit these goddamn coins. everyone starts somewhere, everyone figures out things at their own pace, and eventually they'll get to a level where they actually know how to use the weapon and they can implement it and integrate it into just their normal gameplay. No one starts off as like a fucking demigod at playing literally any fucking game. And once again, you know, my criticism, you know, isn't like, you know, it's your fault for not aiming properly. Like, honestly, that would be one of the last things that I would really bring up as, like, anything against you. Really, my main criticism is it's just your fault for acting like a fucking child and just giving up the moment that you couldn't figure out how coins worked and just, you know, defaulting to the fucking default piercer just out of sheer rage and stubbornness. Like, that would be my main criticism, okay?
And I know some people use the argument of, oh, well, the coin shot's cool, so it doesn't really matter.
Again, I have never heard an argument like that. Where are you getting these arguments from?
For someone like me, I wasn't really thinking about that. I wasn't thinking about style points. I was thinking about what would get me killed late. Jesus Christ.
Listen, okay. You clearly know how to edit. You could have edited this out. But I'll give it a pass because it at least gave me a little bit of a chuckle. I'll at least give you that one.
I was thinking about what would get me killed the least. And for me, the option was the charged pistol. And it also felt really cool punching the charged pistol.
What the fuck do you mean punching the charged pistol? Are you... the only projectiles that you can punch, at least for now, because Takeda, like, you know, teased like a new variant for the rocket launcher that introduces yet another punchable projectile that you can use. You know, at least as of right now, the only weapon that has a punchable projectile is the fucking shotgun.
I want to clarify, I'm not trying to stir up any drama, I'm trying to give my opinion. This is just my personal experience with Ultrakill, and if you have a different experience, I'd love to hear it down in the comment section below. I'd love to see a respectful argument from both sides, instead of just a blind raid.
Well, I mean, that's at least commendable. At least you wanted to go in this one just trying to give your honest opinion, unlike Under the Mayo that quite literally admitted that he formatted his Ultrakill reviews in a way as to basically piss off the community, rather than to actually give a genuine critique of the games. Like, again, I'll save those critiques for when I actually cover those videos, but, you know, just a little bit of a heads up, you know, again, I'll give you that one. You're at least providing your opinion, even if your opinion is quite literally just, like, actually really stupid. The fact that you have to learn how the Marksman works isn't a problem with the game. Matter of fact, that's just literally how any weapon in any fucking game works. And the fact that, you know, learning how weapons and mechanics work requires practice isn't a problem with the game. And saying that it is says a lot more about you than it does about the game. But that's the end of his first video. But don't worry. He has a second one, and it really isn't much better.
Hello everyone, my name is Beansprout, and today we're talking about Ultrakill again. And now, just before I went on holiday to Egypt, which was a great holiday by the way, I put up a video called Ultrakill's Pistol Problem, and it seemed like a lot of people didn't really get the point of the video. So I'm here to explain and clarify a few of the points that I made in that video.
I don't think it's that people, like, misunderstood the point of that video. I think people there could definitely be miscommunication with basically anything. But the thing is that, like, a lot of the people in the comments, and I literally am checking the comments, like, as of right now, like, quite literally, a good majority of at least, like, you know, the top comments that I'm seeing right now is quite literally just, you know, a mix of people saying that, hey, you know, it just requires practice and that's not a problem with the game, as well as, like, people literally just giving advice as to how to use the Marksman effectively so that way, you know, it doesn't become as much of a problem for you. Like, it's literally just people being helpful and pointing out and criticizing you for, you know, like, the fact that you, for some reason, decide to chalk up the fact that a weapon requires practice is apparently a problem. Also, what's extremely funny is, you talk about how, you welcome people giving their critiques, of your opinion in the comment section. Meanwhile, one of the top comments with 49 motherfucking replies is apparently you arguing with someone that goes by the name of Brother Near 2.0. And, I am going to read through some of this before we get into the second video here. So, it basically starts off with this guy saying, "This just sounds like you need practice with the Marksman. It is indeed a very complicated weapon, which is why you need to start with the Piercer. Once you potentially master the Marksman, you can pull it off. You can pull off really cool things. Did you know that if you time your shot right with a coin, your shot splits in two? That's a really cool mechanic." And I completely fucking agree. I love the split shot mechanic. That thing is really, amazing to pull off. But, we kind of continue going on. It's mainly just kind of people agreeing with the comment, and then of course Beansprout here responds by saying, "That's not the point of the video." Near comes in saying, "Then what is the point? You said it yourself in this video that when you tried out the Marksman, you either missed all of your shots and or died trying. This tells me that you need practice. Ultrakill is about skill and style, and if you want to achieve said high skill and style, you need to practice with the Marksman." Which, he does in fact mention that, his mindset wasn't immediately on, style and whatnot when it came to the start of the game, which obviously is a lot of people's mindsets when they start off with this game, I guarantee you. It was mainly just, trying to stay alive. But the thing is that most people, when they pick up, a new shiny weapon and it has something cool attached to it, they usually want to try to use that cool thing and figure out how it functions, and maybe semi-master it so that way they can utilize it within just their normal moves. Beansprout once again responds by saying, "Practice is completely irrelevant, it was about the first-time player." Which, that just doesn't make any sense, because with the first-time player, obviously, a mindset for the first-time player would usually be, "I need to practice with this weapon, so that way I can utilize it well." Near responds saying, "I'm confused. What's stopping a first-time player from practicing a weapon they don't understand? You're acting like a first-time player won't go out of their way to master it. And again, the fact that the Marksman is such a complicated weapon is the reason why you start with the Piercer." Someone else comes in and responds to it by saying, "I don't know how relevant the first-time player argument is. Ultrakill was my first movement FPS, and in general my first FPS, and with a lot of practice I could get good at the game. The game is not about being difficult. That it forces you to use all the mechanics or that you ultra-optimize your way of playing. It's that you have fun, and if your fun causes the latter, it is fine as long as you have fun doing it." Which, again, I completely fucking agree with it, and that's kind of my mindset when it comes to Ultrakill. It's really not about, it's not really about, being extremely difficult. It's about just having fun and learning how things work, and it's about learning how things work and having fun while you're, kind of figuring things out. And once you figure things out more and more, you'll likely have a lot more fun doing it. Another person responds by saying, "This is literally just you refusing to learn a weapon because it's challenging. Also, first-time player naturally improves through continued usage." Again, agreed. Beansprout responds to the guy by saying, "It's about the first-time player." Basically, the fact that he's just repeating the first-time player argument, it just kind of comes across as him realizing that he doesn't have an actual point in this video, and he just only has the, "but the first-time player wouldn't want to," argument. But it basically just kind of ends off with that. But now that we've gone through that, let's continue.
First major point that a lot of people didn't understand is that I wasn't complaining about the Marksman because it was too hard. I can use the Marksman perfectly fine. What I was saying is that it's difficult for new players to use.
Okay. Again, that's not a problem with the game. You're basically just reiterating the point that, obviously, the point that you basically made within the first video, is that, well, for the first-time player, this, pretty complex fucking weapon is very hard for, a newer player to figure out automatically. That's not a point against the game. That's a thing that pretty much really any game that has any level of, a skill ceiling, requires.
Brand new players on their first playthrough, and I want to drill that in, because I got a lot of comments, which I really appreciate, trying to give me advice and stuff. There was also a large pool of people who thought I was hating on the game because I was bad at it. And well, no, I'm not the best Ultrakill, I wouldn't say I'm exactly bad at it. The main point I made in the video is that the Marksman pistol isn't really the best option for the first player.
Okay, But you still aren't explaining why that is a problem with the game. Like, what you're basically, what your video is basically saying, or at least how it's coming across, is that because this complex weapon requires players to practice in order to be good at using it, and therefore that is a problem with the game and not the players themselves. Like, I don't even know if that actually came through as a coherent sentence, or what I was trying to actually say. Hopefully it was understandable. It's very hard to word right now for some reason. I don't know why, but the thing is like, the main problem that people have is the fact that you're labeling the fact that you need to practice with certain weapons as like a problem with the game itself, when that isn't a problem with the game, like, at all.
This could lead to a lot of players not using the Marksman at all. I did give the example of when I first played the game, and I tried out the Marksman because I thought it looked cool, and then after consistently missing my shots, I gave up and just started using the charged pistol. And I think a lot of people took that as me saying that this was a very recent thing, but no, that was about a year ago, a year and a half.
Again, I don't think there was anyone that saw that as like a recent thing, like, at all. Again, I scrolled through the comments and never saw anyone pointing anything like that out.
Look, whether you'd like to admit it or not, the Marksman pistol is very difficult to use for new players. For players that are just learning the game and they're trying to move, try not to get hit, and also hit this tiny little coin at the same time, it's very difficult.
And I don't think there's a single soul out there, especially in the comments of that video, that would disagree with that point. Hell, even I can agree with that point. When I first got the Marksman, I found myself dying a lot while I was trying to figure out how the Marksman functioned. But you see, I didn't take that as like, oh, well, I can't figure out how this weapon functions, therefore I'll just give up. I basically saw that as, okay, well, clearly I'm doing something wrong, so I'll learn from that and try not to suck next time.
It's very difficult. Now yes, I did get a lot of comments consistently saying that it just takes practice, but that wasn't the point. I think it's good to have things that the player finds difficult and needs to practice, but at the same time, my whole point was that it drives people away from using the Marksman.
Well, it seems like the only people that are driven away by the fact that the Marksman requires practice, it seems to be just people like you that just act like a fucking child and give up the moment that they can't figure something out.
To make it easier. I was just giving my perspective on it. But another point I'd like to add is that I've seen a lot of Ultrakill fans acting like it's the best game ever made, and if you ever criticize it, your video gets a large amount of dislikes.
Oh my fucking god.
Just look at Under the Mayo. I mean, his first few videos on it were pretty hostile, but his follow-up video to his Ultrakill Act 2 review got an unjustified amount of dislikes.
Okay. You quite literally pointed out that Under the Mayo's first two reviews of Ultrakill were hostile. And here you are saying that apparently the fact that fans of Ultrakill responded negatively to a video that was hostile towards them was unjust. Like, did you even listen to yourself? Like, you had to have listened to yourself while you were editing this video, right? Like, did you even hear this part and realize that this made no sense? But also, you know, he does bring up Mayo's follow-up to his Act 2 review, and the thing is, again, the ratio on that video and the criticism of that video wasn't, you know, unjustified. Because in that video, Mayo basically doubles down on all of his terrible takes while also giving even worse takes in the process.
But to me, it shows that a lot of members of the Ultrakill community, especially hardcore fans of the game, have this sort of inability to listen to criticism.
Ah, yes, because the vision that the developer has of how this game functions and how this game should be presented is inherently the biggest flaw of the game, rather than a flaw with myself as a player, you know, is apparently, you know, justified criticism, you know, and people just pointing out the fact that that's really stupid to label it as criticism when you're basically saying that you just want to outright go against, like, the vision of the game. Like, it's just so much to fucking unpack.
Now back to the point about the pistol. I feel it's very justified to make this point, and a lot of people saw the words Ultrakill and problem in the same title and then immediately went to dislike the video, despite not even listening to what I had to say.
Once again, a good majority of the top comments that I saw prove quite the contrary.
Yeah, this video was just me making this topic a little bit clearer, and also mentioning an issue that I have with the community of Ultrakill. And judging from my experience with that last video, I fully expect the same thing to happen again.
Once again, if we were to label every single fandom based off of the fanboys, then quite literally every fandom would literally look like complete ass. Alright? Like, let's just be honest with ourselves, alright? There's going to be fanboys of literally anything, and the fact that you're basically stating that the entire fanbase of Ultrakill are just vehement, like, insane individuals that can't handle criticism, and there's only, like, a handful of people that were giving you honest, like, you know, helpful tips, you know, and whatnot, and giving you genuine criticism. Like, again, it's just extremely stupid, and it just kind of shows that you're really unwilling to listen to any of the criticism, since you're willing to just, you know, round up all of the players and the people that were criticizing you as just, you know, insane fanboys that can't handle criticism. But that's basically it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, that's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next, and also subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more content such as this. Also go ahead and follow me on Twitter, that's very well appreciated. And yeah, anyways guys, this has been Sandy. Have yourselves a nice day.